lot to say, man. I'm gonna pause it a lot. I always tell people, hey, I'm gonna pause it. Um, I'm gonna pause it, and if you want to watch it yourself, just go on YouTube. Just type in Brett Baier Kamala Harris interview. like, I just don't understand what like. I just can't play the whole clip, guys. Like, I play almost the whole video. I really should not play the whole video because they the creator of the content have a right to take my shit down because you know they think I'm just using it to get you know um monetization, which we not monetized, but people don't know that. So yeah, I might not even play this whole thing. Um, so yeah, I'm finna play it and pause it and get my thoughts. Here we go. Oh, hold on, guys. It's on mute. I had to mute that ad. Okay, here we
And
go.
here in Pennsylvania, that immigration is one
Here
of
we
the
go.
key issues that they're looking at this election, and specifically the influx of illegal immigrants from more than 150 countries.
They always weaponize immigration. Like, they need like what they don't tell you guys. The ones that are not into politics that probably came across this video or this live stream or whatever. Like, they need immigrants. See, immigration is like a teen sports rhetoric. Like, you know, those immigrants coming over here, they bringing drugs, they raping people, they taking your jobs. Propaganda did a good job in my black community because some of them feel that way now. Like, obviously now when like the immigrants came to New York and Chicago, and they were getting, I wouldn't say free stuff, but they were getting like treatment, preferential treatment, and a lot of black folks lost their shit over that. So I'm not even 10 seconds into this clip, and I just already know how this gonna go.
How many illegal immigrants would you estimate your administration has released into the country over the last 3.5 years?
Well, I'm glad you raised the issue of immigration because I agree with you. It is a topic of discussion that people want to rightly have. And
I don't.
you know what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, but
right
do you
now,
just a
which
number?
is-
Do you
but-
think it's
but,
1 million, 3 million?
Brett, let's just get to the point. Okay, the point is that we have a broken immigration system that needs to be repaired.
So your Homeland Security Secretary said that 85% of apprehensions.
I'm not finished. We have an
It's a rough estimate of 6 million people have been released into the country. And let me just finish. I'll get to the question, I promise you.
I was beginning to answer.
Yeah, 6 million people been released because these motherfuckers, corporations need these 6 million people. Like, unless they get hurt or something, they threaten them with their visa. We could deport your ass. They threaten them with ICE. You know, so it's a lot of right and wrong with everything. It looks like.
And when you came into office, your administration immediately reversed a number of Trump border policies. Most significantly, the policy that required illegal immigrants to be detained through deportation, either in the U.S. or in Mexico. And you switched that policy. They were released from custody awaiting trial. So instead, included in those were a large number of single men, adult men, who went on to commit heinous crimes. So, looking back, do you regret the decision to terminate Remain in Mexico at the beginning of your administration?
At the beginning of our administration, within practically hours of taking the oath, the first bill that we offered Congress.
I like how the right makes the left, not the left, the liberals, the shit libs, think they're for open borders and shit, but in reality, like, did Biden re-implemented Title 42 and remain in Mexico? Like, he did. Like, like both Democrats and Republicans have the same feeling on immigration. Like, maybe the Republicans just they tell you how they feel. Like, fuck them, get them out of here. In reality, they donors want them. Want some of them, to work for them. But the Democrats, they always say the same type of rhetoric. We have some reform. We need to reform the border, like that. Like, just say you both are hawkish on immigration. Like, like Jesus Christ.
Before We worked on infrastructure before the Inflation Reduction Act, before the CHIPS and Science Act, before the bipartisan Safer Communities Act. The first bill, practically within hours of taking the oath, was a bill to fix our immigration system.
Yes, ma'am. It was
But
called
I
the
wonder why you claim you guys had a bill. He gonna say what the name of the bill is right here. You had a bill, but why it didn't pass? Like, since y'all so hawkish on the fucking border, my thing is just you got the votes, like bipartisan. When it comes to immigration. Well, I better get into that down the road, but y'all bipartisan on military spending for Israel. You bipartisan on tax cuts, but the problem is they don't want to fix the border. Like, y'all know that, right? Like, see, they using that as a facade. It's an illusion. Like, the Republicans don't give a fuck about the border. They just making a show out of it.
U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021.
Exactly.
It was essentially a pathway to citizenship for the. Yes, ma'am.
May I finish responding, please? But you have to let me finish.
You
please.
had the White House and the House and the Senate,
I'm
and they
in the
didn't bring
middle
up
of
that bill.
responding to the point you're raising,
Okay.
and I'd like to finish.
Yes, ma'am.
We recognized from day one that, to the point of this being your first question, it is a priority for us as a nation and for the American people. And our focus has been on fixing a problem. And from day one, then, we have done a number of things, including to address our asylum system and put more resources, getting more.
Yeah, that latest bill that Trump told the Republicans not to go for. Y'all about to restrict asylum. So, I mean, both of them are the same. Like, us leftists have been trying to tell people this for a long time. Like, you know. Oh my goodness.
Judges, what we needed to do to tighten up penalties and increase penalties for illegal crossings, what we needed to.
But I'm gonna say this though, you know how you end this quote unquote border crisis, which I don't really give a damn. Like, I really don't care. But since it's topic of discussion, stop being the world's police, United States. Stop going into other countries, sanctioning shit and using imperialism. Like, that's the way you fucking stop the caravans and stop all these immigrants coming over the border. Like, where the fuck else they gonna go? Like, hell, Mexico was savage. They let them motherfucker right through that mug. Oh, you know what? I don't even blame them. I'm in America. I welcome all immigrants, man. Okay. All. I know I'm talking about all. Because I'm a lover. These people supposed to be religious, but even the Bible said that you supposed to welcome your foreign folks, something like that. I haven't read the Bible in a long time. Like, this
To do to deal with points of entry between border entry points. That's the work we did, and we worked on supporting what was a bipartisan effort, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Congress, to actually strengthen the border. That border bill would have put 1,500 more border agents at the border, which is why I believe the Border Patrol agents supported the bill. It would have allowed us to stem the flow of fentanyl coming into the United States, which is a scourge affecting people of every background, every geographic location in our country, killing people. It would have allowed us to put more resources into prosecuting transnational criminal organizations, which I have done as the former Attorney General of a border state.
Madam Vice President, a couple of things.
Prosecuted trafficking of drugs, guns, and human beings. And Donald Trump, but let me just finish.
Six Democrats voted against that bill.
Learned about that bill and told them to kill it because he preferred to run on a.
Yeah, they just want to run on it. Like, they don't want to fix the border. Like, of course they want to run on it. That's all they want to do. Just run on it over and over and over again. It's sad for you guys too. Like, Joe Biden, can say, hey, let's back out of, Venezuela and the countries that the United States imperializing at this moment. Like you could do that, but then it'll stop. But it's gonna keep happening. These caravans, it's gonna keep happening. It's gonna happen again soon. I know it is. So you know, just playing this
A
games, man.
problem instead of fixing a problem. And in this election, this is rightly a discussion that the American people want to have. And what they want are solutions, and they want a president of the United States who's not playing political games with the issue,
I hear you.
but actually is focused on fixing
Six
it.
Democrats voted against that bill. It would have allowed 1.8 million illegal immigrants into the country a year. A lot of conservatives had a problem with it. These are the 6 Democrats. But more importantly, back to the original premise, Jocelyn Nungary, Rachel Morin, Laken Riley, they are young women.
See, this is Fox News right here, a temple trying to say, see, you guys are being so inactive on the border. These are victims of sexual assault.
Who were
Sad.
brutally assaulted and killed by some of the men who were released at the beginning of the administration, well before a negotiated bipartisan bill. Former President Clinton actually referred to Laken Riley Sunday, campaigning for you in Georgia, saying if those men had been properly vetted, Laken Riley probably would not have been killed. So if it wouldn't have happened, this is well before any negotiation. This is well before Donald Trump got involved in the politics. This is a specific policy decision by your administration to release these men into the country. So what I'm saying to you, do you owe
Brett,
those families an apology?
Let me just say, first of all, those are tragic cases. There's no question about that. There's no question about that.
But let me say this though, this should not be a reason to shut down the border forever. Like, see, that's what they do. They like to fearmonger. This is just a fearmongering tactic right here. Like, fuck Kamala. She gives warrior salads. I'm just talking about as a general sense. Like, why, like people see that, and obviously they don't know no better. They don't understand foreign policy, so they'll say, "Hey, those damn immigrants are just evil motherfuckers." And the truth is that, I don't know, man. Let me just continue.
And I can't imagine the pain that the families of those victims have experienced for a loss that should not have occurred. So that is true. It is also true that if a border security had actually been passed 9 months ago, it would be 9 months that we would have had more border agents at the border, more support for the folks who are working around the clock trying to hold it all together.
Madam Vice President.
To ensure that no future harm would occur. And this election in 20 days will determine whether we have a president of the United States who actually cares more about fixing a problem, even if it is not to their political advantage in an election. Because there was a solution, Brett.
Madam Vice President, it was a policy decision in the early part of your administration. I will let one of the mothers talk about it. Take a listen.
Because of the Biden-Harris administration open border policies catch and release, they were enrolled in the Alternatives to Detention program. This meant that they were released into the United States. It was not even a full 3 weeks later that they would take my daughter, Jocelyn Nungary's life. I believe the Biden-Harris administration open border policies are responsible for the death of my daughter.
That's the
No, ain't open borders. It's just an unfortunate situation. But I'm just saying again, yes, it's unfortunate. I feel bad for that woman, but not all migrants are harmful people. A lot of them come over here because the United States fucked up their fucking country. They come over here, try to get a job and try to pay taxes. And the crazy thing is, just like us, they pay taxes, but we don't get nothing back from it. And then, try to, they hear about that American dream bullshit when I'm finna get to in a minute too. A few minutes down the road, but I'm like, just, it's sad, man. Continue.
early days. So do you owe them an apology is what I'm saying.
I will tell you that I am so sorry for her loss. I'm so sorry for her loss, sincerely. But let's talk about what is happening right now with an individual who does not want to participate in solutions. Let's talk about that as well.
But do you want to answer
in
her?
all fairness, I told you, I feel awful for what she and her family have experienced.
During that time, you said repeatedly that the border was secure. When in your mind did it start becoming a crisis?
I think we've had a broken immigration system transcending, by the way, Donald Trump's administration even before. Let's all be honest about that. I have no pride in saying that this is a perfect immigration system. I've been clear, I think we all are, that it needs to be fixed. We need more.
My thing is, if it's that important, man, imagine the immigration system with Israel. Like, maybe they'll fix it. I don't know, but they definition of fixing is just to shut the border down and restrict various asylums, like turn most of these immigrants back. That's what they want to do, but like I'm just saying, like, well, when it comes to Israel, boy, packages is, man, run out the goddamn Department of Treasury, man. Holy shit. And weapons too, armed weapons and shit. Run out the MIC, boy. Wow.
I was just down at the border talking with border agents, and they will tell you, and I'm sure you probably, I know you investigate and you are a serious journalist, they will tell you, we need more judges. We need to process those cases faster. We need the support for those cases that should be prosecuted. They need more resources, and Congress ultimately is the only place that's going to get fixed, Brett.
Well,
that's how this system works.
That's the premise of this question. There were 90-plus executive orders that were rescinded in the first days. Many of those were Trump border policies. I'm not going to stay here because there's other things to talk about, but you frequently talk to the Border Patrol Union for support of that bipartisan bill, and they did. They supported it. But they also just endorsed Donald Trump and said, you've been, quote, a failure with border security. Why do you think they said that?
I think they're frustrated, and I get it. They want support. They want support, and that's what that border security bill would have done. These guys down at the border, these men and women, they're working hard. They're working around the clock. I get it.
There's a lot of people that look back and
they ain't working that damn hard.
What you said in 2019 when you first ran for president. And there have been changes, and you've talked about some of them. When it comes to immigration, you supported allowing immigrants in the country illegally to apply for driver's license, to qualify for free tuition at universities, to be enrolled in free health care. Do you still support?
Damn. I don't know if that's true or not, motherfuckers say anything, but damn, right, wow. Why American people can't get that? Hell, that's what we fighting for on the left. hell, give me free health care. Shit. Hell, my friend, she need health care. She coming off of possibly COVID, other people need health care. Free tuition, hell yeah. A lot of folks can go to college, yeah. Yeah. Hell, you giving it to the immigrants then? I doubt it, but you should give it to us too, hell. All this free stuff.
Listen, that was 5 years ago, and I'm very clear that I will follow the law. I have made that statement over and over again, and as Vice President of the United States, that's exactly what I've done, not to mention before.
If that's the case, you chose a running mate, Tim Walz, governor of Minnesota, who signed those very things into state law. So do you support that?
Hell no. Just say no, I don't support that because my corporate bosses, my corporate donors don't want me to do that. No, they want me to do that. I wish you just say it directly, and then she won't look as stupid because this woman is stupid. I'm sorry. I think this is like the only interview I saw that she's seemed pretty like neutral. I wouldn't say she's normal because it's Kamala Harris, but like she don't look drunk. She don't look lackadaisical. She ain't cackling. She ain't laughing. Oh my God. I didn't realize that. That's what the nickname Cackling Kamala come from. Oh my God. It's a miracle.
Very clear, and I am very clear, as is Tim Walz, that we must support and enforce federal law, and that is exactly what we will do.
Sorry about that, guy. That's not even a question. She never answers the question, dude. Let me skip the ad right here.
So decriminalizing border crossings,
Don't
like you
ever ask
said
a
in
question.
2019.
I do not believe in decriminalizing border crossings, and I've not done that as vice president. I will not do that as president.
So these are evolutions that you've had.
No, but let's be very clear. I'm the only person who's running for president who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations, from the Sinaloa cartel to the Guadalajara cartel to people who have trafficked in guns, drugs, and human beings. I have spent a significant part of my career going after people who present a threat to the safety of the American people and cross our border with the intent of doing us harm and cross our border illegally. And I will do that work as vice president. I take that work quite seriously.
This is a time when voters, especially here in Pennsylvania, are inundated with commercials and ads. They just want it to stop because it's every commercial. But many of them add noise, but a few of them...
Oh, God. This is the one about the gender-affirming care in prisons. Oh, Lord. Oh, I ain't got time. I'm finna skip over this. Like, come on, man. Like, really? Skip over this song.
Necessity basis to people in the federal prison system. And I think, frankly, that ad from the Trump...
Look, my thoughts about that is, I skipped over it a little bit, guys. Look, they should have people should be able to have gender affirming care, not only in prisons, but when you, as healthcare is a fucking right. Like, you know, I know that's just right wing bullshit, you know, propaganda they trying to pull, but
campaign is a little bit of like throwing, you know, stones when you're living in a glass house.
The Trump aides say that he never advocated for that prison policy and no gender transition surgeries
you know what, you got to take responsible for what happened in your administration.
Yeah, no surgeries happened in his presidency.
It's in black and white.
Would you still advocate for using taxpayer dollars for gender reassignment surgeries?
I will follow the law, just as I think Donald Trump would say he did.
You would have a say as president.
Like I said, I think he spent $20 million on those ads, trying to create a sense of fear in the voters because he actually has no plan in this election that is about focusing on the needs of the American people. Whereas, at $20 million on that ad, on an issue that, as it relates to the biggest issues that affect the American people, it's really quite remote. And again, his policy was no different. Look at where we are, though.
They say
on plans for the American people, I'm offering a plan to deal with affordable housing. I'm offering a plan to deal with what we need to do to strengthen.
Fuck affordable housing. What's affordable to me is different from what's affordable in each state is different. So that, and also too, housing should be a fucking right. Like, don't y'all notice, like, all these politicians, you know, homelessness has been a problem forever, really forever, but, like, now, since the pandemic, it fucking quadrupled into a crisis, super crisis. Like, why do these politicians never talk about providing housing for everyone? I'm talking about the dummies. I know Republicans ain't gonna do shit. Like, you know, ain't that damn crazy and stupid, but they never, you know, this motherfucker right here said affordable housing. Get the fuck up out of here with that shit, man. Like, see, that's why it's a damn near it's margin of error between her and Trump, because people see through her bullshit.
In small businesses, which are the backbone of America's economy. I am offering a plan that is about taking care of young parents and giving them the support they need. My plans for the economy will strengthen the economy, as have been reviewed by 16 Nobel laureates, Goldman Sachs, Moody's, and recently the Wall Street Journal, which have all studied our plans and have indicated my plans for our economy would strengthen our economy, his would make them weaker, would ignite inflation and invite a recession.
She talking about she talking about her corporate bosses. Yeah, no, Goldman Sachs. Well, no, yeah, those are corporate bosses.
Session by the middle of next year. Those are the facts.
Why do you think more people say they trust him on the economy than they trust you?
I think that when you look at an analysis of our plans for what we would do as President of the United States. It has been clear to
Not the
those who study
question.
and understand how economic policy works that moving forward, because I do believe the American people are ready to turn the page on the divisiveness and the type of rhetoric.
The question was, why do American people trust Trump on the economy over you? But her answer is basically like, I was at, the Segway the other day, Safeway the other day, and I dropped my, the word salad. Like I dropped my, I dropped my phone, now I forgot to pick it up, and I had to come back and get, that's her answer for you. Like it's just a repeated cycle.
Rhetoric that has come out of Donald Trump. People are ready to chart a new way forward, and they want a president who has a plan for the future and a plan that is sound and will strengthen our country. My plan for the economy does exactly that. His plan would be, again, to give tax cuts to billionaires and the biggest corporations in our country and blow up our deficit.
It's interesting you said turn the page, Madam Vice President. You were asked on 2 different shows last week what, if anything, you would do differently than President Biden. Here's what you said.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
Under a Harris administration, what would the major changes be, and what would stay the same?
Sure. Well, I mean, I'm obviously not Joe Biden.
I noticed.
And so that would be one change in terms of, but also.
I think she bullshitting. She gonna do the same shit Biden did. Support Israel. Listen to her corporate bosses. Yeah. Instead of being Bidenomics, it could be Kamala-nomics. If she wins, she gonna be the same shit. She had no answer. People thought that she was gonna fight for a ceasefire, but like that fell to the side. Like once she said that, I'm gonna lick Israel's boots until they dry. Fuck.
I think it's important to say with 28 days to go, I'm not Donald Trump.
So you're not Joe Biden, you're not Donald Trump, but nothing comes to mind that you would do differently?
Let me be very clear. My presidency will not be a continuation of Joe Biden's presidency. And like
yes, it
every
will.
new president that comes in to office, I will bring my life experiences, my professional experiences, and fresh and new ideas. I represent a new generation of leadership. I, for example, am someone who has not spent the majority of my career in Washington, D.C. I invite ideas, whether it be from the Republicans who are supporting me, who were just on stage with me minutes ago.
What, Liz Cheney? Wow, a war hawk. You and your war hawk pals holding hands, holding your hand, jumping to the sky. Yay. Hell, you might as well. You both the same fucking party, right? Just one party. It's one uniparty. Like it's just two colors, right? Maybe one of them probably have a little bit more white supremacist mentality. Yeah, I like the blue and don't like. The blue team, was the original white supremacist, but nobody want to talk about that. So I'm about to continue.
And the business sector and others who can contribute to the decisions that I make about, for example, my plan for increasing the supply of housing in America and bringing down the cost of housing, addressing the issue of small businesses, which is about working with the private sector to bring more capital and access to capital to our small business leaders, including my plan for a $25,000 down payment assistance for first-time home buyers.
Wow, assistance. It's a tax credit. It's not an assistance. It's basically kind of like a tax rebate. You buy a house, you own it, pay them, I guess, and you get the tax credit. See, she lied right there. And of course, Brett Baier ain't gonna correct her on it. Like that's his job. Brett Baier is meant to just, critique her from the right. You know what I'm saying? So he's not neutral. So, I would say, but did you say that $25,000 was a tax rebate? Like that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to push back a little bit, but it's Fox News. It's all these other corporate shithole news sites, man. I mean, news networks, man. They ain't right. They got fucking corporate bosses too.
And for small businesses, extending the tax deduction from $5,000 to $50,000.
We've heard a lot about those plans in recent days. Your campaign slogan is a new way forward, and it's time to turn the page. You've been vice president for 3.5 years. So what are you turning the page from?
Well, first of all, turning the page from the last decade in which we've been burdened with the kind of rhetoric coming from Donald Trump that has been designed and implemented to divide our country and have Americans literally point fingers at each other. Rhetoric and an approach to leadership that suggests that the strength of a leader is based on who you beat down instead of what we all know. The strength of leadership is based on who you lift up. The strength of an American president, which is one who understands that the vast majority of us have more in common than what separates us.
Madam Vice President, more than 70% of people
that is
tell
about turning the page on rhetoric that people are frankly exhausted of, Brett.
More than 70% of people tell the country is on the wrong track.
Yeah, people exhausted of your ass and Donald Trump and really the whole fucking duopoly in general. Like, people are fucking fed up. Like, you motherfuckers. That's why I don't really go by polls. You know, I thought about making a few videos about polls, but polls are basically a sampling. It's a sampling size. Like, people don't know that. It's a small sampling size of a particular area. Like, you're not polling everybody. And first of all, that's impossible. And second of all, like, you know, that's a lot of money and research and time. So, yeah, like, most of the country, based on what I see, you know, just hate both of you guys. I expect voter turnout to be so abysmal this year. Like, you got Donald Trump saying that, you know, the enemy within and working at McDonald's. And you got this bitch talking about coconut trees and giving world salad interviews. Like, what do you want American people to do? Just, you know, I know what they could do, though. It's something you always can do. Like, you can vote for Jill Stein, but, you know, but the problem with Jill Stein is that media blackout. You know, the only way Jill Stein is able to get some media time is maybe the Breakfast Club, a radio show, or, you know, one of these leftist YouTube channels, or, you know, independent media channels. So, I don't know, man. Yeah.
Track. They say the country is on the wrong track. If it's on the wrong track, that track follows 3.5.
Yeah, it's on the wrong track. We had 2 hurricanes to decimate Florida and the Carolinas, and Georgia too, I think. Then you got people are homeless. You know, people looking at their bank accounts and seeing negatives. You know, people the mental health in this country is shit. Like, everybody's stressed out, depressed. You know, so when you do that, you know, you turn to alcohol or drugs. You know. So it's a lot. Like, and these politicians just sitting on their ass, sitting on their hands, looking stupid. Like, the economy is great. It's great. When you got 80% say it's going the wrong track. Yeah, like, oh my goodness.
3.5 years of you being vice president and President Biden being president. That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is that over the last decade,
But
people
you're the
have
lever of
become.
power.
But listen, over the last decade, it is clear to me, and certainly the Republicans who are on stage with me, the former chief of staff to the president, Donald Trump, former defense secretaries, national security advisor, and his vice president. One, that he is unfit to serve, that he is unstable, that he is dangerous, and that people are exhausted with someone who professes to be a leader who spends full time demeaning and engaging in personal grievances.
Oh, here come the fear-mongering. Oh, Donald Trump, he's just unhinged. He's this, he's that, he's a fascist. Oh man, Donald Trump is not, Donald Trump is the symptom. He's not the problem. I think a lot of liberals got Donald Trump derangement syndrome to the next fucking level. Like, even my mama, to be a certain extent, my own mama has Trump derangement syndrome. And I'm telling her, like, mama, with Trump, it don't matter if Trump wins or Kamala wins. It don't matter. The billionaire class that donates to them wins. Fascism is here. You can't protest without fearing of getting tear gas or getting the hell beat out of you. You can't, cop cities. They're building cop cities all over the motherfucking place because these motherfuckers know that uprising is coming. I don't know when. I don't know where. But it's coming, and they know it. See, George Floyd protest was massive, so that scared the living shit out of them. But they say, "Oh hell no! Wow, we got to hold these peasants down, boy." Now these peasants getting a little carried away here, And then these pro-Palestine protests been massive too, and they getting more and more scared. So fascism is here. Donald Trump. Donald Trump is just a bumbling fool. Like, that's all he is. And Kamala Harris is too. So here we go.
And it being about him instead of the American people. People are tired of that.
If that's the case, why is half the country supporting him? Why is he beating you in a lot of swing states? Why, if he's as bad as you say, that half of this country is now supporting this person who could be the 47th president of the United States? Why is that happening?
This is an election for president of the United States. It's not supposed to be easy.
I know, but
it's not supposed.
Man, please. Bitch, please. You man. Hey, bitch lying. She lying. Clearly you thought since Biden dropped out and, you thought, well, you look at your poll numbers, but you said, damn, I got this in a bag. Or at least your fucking MAGA, your blue MAGA coat also. It's not easy. Yeah, you'll say that now.
To be, it is not supposed to be a cakewalk.
So are they misguided, the 50%?
Listen,
are they stupid? What
God,
is it?
I would never say that about the American people. And in fact,
she thinks we stupid. She thinks we stupid. Yeah? Oh, I wouldn't say that about the American people. Like, what are you talking about? They're some of the most intelligent people in the world, and she's part of the problem. She's part of the problem on why the half of most Americans are propagandized, because really, I wouldn't say she's, well, yeah, if you part of the two-party system, you part of the problem in general, but she thinks we're stupid. She had Barack Obama to wag his finger at black men. Oh yeah, I'm about to get to her agenda for black men in a second. It's abysmal, but yeah, all these people think we stupid, man. They see, people like me, they want YouTube and Facebook and whatever to suppress us because we telling people the truth. They want to gaslight you. Kamala Harris, Joe Trump, Donald Trump's, all these motherfuckers want to gaslight you. See, me and RBN and Harlan's Media and Fiorella Isabel and others, Nico House, like, we want to tell you guys the fucking truth. See, that's why they nuked Fee's account on Fee's channel on YouTube, because she was telling the truth about saying the Russia propaganda that the U.S. keep talking about is bullshit. But let me continue, man.
If you listen to Donald Trump, if you watch any of his rallies, he's the one who tends to demean and belittle and diminish the American people. He's the one who talks about an enemy within, an enemy within, talking about the American people, suggesting.
I got from that, I thought he was talking about you guys. Anybody that don't like him, but okay.
He would turn the American military on the American people.
We asked that question to the former president today. Harris Faulkner had a town hall, and this is how he responded.
I heard about that. They were saying I was like threatening. I'm not threatening anybody. They're the ones doing the threatening. They do phony investigations. I've been investigated more than Alphonse Capone. He was the greatest gangster. No, it's true. No, but think of it. It's called weaponization of government. It's a terrible thing.
So,
Brett, I'm sorry, and with all due respect, that clip was not what he has been saying about the enemy within that he has repeated when he's speaking about the American people. That's not what you just showed.
he was asked about that specific...
No, that's not what you just showed. In all fairness and respect to you,
that was the question that we asked him.
You didn't show that, and here's the bottom line. He has repeated it many times, and you and I both know that. And you and I both know that he has talked about turning the American military on the American people. He has talked about...
Hell, you motherfucking Democrats are doing the same shit. Y'all trying to turn the police state on us, like protesting the free Palestine and protesting police brutality, like see, y'all call Trump doing all this shit. Trump want to put the military on us, and Trump want to do this, Trump want to do that, Trump want to get rid of the Constitution. Like, you motherfuckers are kind of doing the same thing. Like, you same motherfuckers that want to ban TikTok, you the same motherfuckers that say you can't use and it got an anti-Semitic bill, like like from the river to the sea it's anti-Semitic. Like, that is just some crazy ass shit. And then there's some lefty YouTubers that actually say that if Hamas says it, like, for real, like, if Hamas says it, then they mean it's anti-Semitic, but if we say it was good, like, Hamas I don't know.
Going after people who are engaged in peaceful protest. He has talked about locking people up because they disagree with him. This is a democracy. And
democracy don't exist in the United States. I don't know what in the hell you talking about. Like Ian Fox election coverage called Democracy 24. I'm like, ain't no democracy. If it was a democracy, Jill Stein, Claudia Dela Cruz, Cornel West, even though a lot of people feel some way about him, I get that, but it's not about how you feel. He should be on there. Jasmine Sherman and whoever the fuck else running for president should be on the stage with Donald Trump and you debating issues. But y'all don't want that. Y'all want only two candidates because y'all want to control the narrative. Democracy. Yeah, and y'all trying to kick Claudia Dela Cruz off the ballot and Jill Stein. Like, yeah, that's a democracy. This is the Democratic Party, not the Republican Party. Democrats trying to kick them off in certain states. Like, I think Georgia and Pennsylvania. Like, the fuck? See, they, like, yeah, democracy. Yeah. Oh, man. Then I had y'all simple Angela Rye coming on there to talk down to Jill Stein, like, you should be on the Democrat side. You're taking votes away from Kamala.
In a democracy, the president of the United States, in the United States of America, should be willing to be able to handle criticism without saying he'd lock people up for doing it. And this is what is at stake, which is why you have...
Trump full of shit. Like, these motherfuckers know Trump full. Trump said if he won in 2016, he was gonna lock Hillary Clinton up. And he didn't do shit. I remember the first day. When the first day he said, "Nah, I ain't gonna lock her up." A story came out. I remember that. He said, "Nah, I ain't gonna lock her up." Like, Trump full of shit. Like, Trump is just an entertainer. Like, literally, like, he's a narcissist and an entertainer. Like, like, y'all just ain't get it. Like, Trump ain't gonna lock you motherfuckers up. Like, hey, if y'all like, see, that's why y'all like with the all of these charges on Trump, because y'all know if y'all actually lock this man up, he got some dirt on y'all motherfuckers. Like, I'm pretty sure he got some. I'm pretty sure some of y'all went to them Diddy parties, them are dummies. So I'm wilding, man, but this is nuts. Okay.
Someone like the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff saying what Mark Milley has said about Donald Trump being a threat to the United States of America.
He's quoted in the Bob Woodward book that way, yes. Let me ask you this,
No,
Madam Vice President.
but
You call
let's not
Donald
diminish
Trump.
the significance
you
of that.
call Donald Trump. He's misguided. You say now
He's
he
unstable.
is unstable.
He is unstable, Brett.
He's not well. You say he's mentally not stable.
He's not stable.
Let me ask you this. You told many interviewers that Joe Biden was on his game, that ran around circles on his staff. When did
Donald Trump? Yeah, Donald Trump showing cognitive decline more now, but Joe Biden's was worse. Oh man, I remember that debate, like when Joe Biden actually shit the bed. You know, his brain just say, "I couldn't take this no more." I remember liberals literally saying this man had a cold. Like, cold or not, like Joe Biden was toast on the jump. Like, then they were trying to have interviews, trying to clean it up. Like, everybody saw it. Like, even my boss man the next day after that debate saying, "Did you watch the debate?" Everybody in the moment watched that debate. We seen Joe Biden look like shit. Like,
did you first notice that President Biden's mental faculties appeared diminished?
Joe Biden, I have watched from the Oval Office to the Situation Room, and he has the judgment and the experience to do exactly what he has done in making very important decisions on behalf of the American people.
There were no concerns raised?
Brett, Joe Biden is not on the ballot.
I understand.
And
but
Donald Trump
But
is.
you talked about it.
And Donald Trump
After George Clooney said within a few minutes of talking to President Biden at a fundraiser that he thought this was not the same Joe Biden that we saw on the debate stage.
Donald Trump is on the ballot.
I understand. You met with him at least once a week for 3.5 years. You didn't have any concerns?
I think the American people have a concern about Donald Trump, which is why the people who know him best.
okay, guys, I'm done with this shit. You get the gist, man. It's crazy. One thing though that got me though, is that they did not talk about Israel for some reason. Oh, I'm pretty sure I know why, right? Because they both agree on it. Like Democrats and Republicans both agree on Israel, so